Hi, I'm Pete, and welcome to Just a Few Acres Farm. It's always a great day on the farm when we have new life. In this case, these are chicks that hatched yesterday. A regular occurrence on our farm is chick delivery. Just look at this little guy or gal. How could anybody not love a baby chick? Hillary goes to the post office and picks them up, and then puts them in the brooder. When COVID hit back in 2020, the whole chick system just went nuts, and it never recovered, unfortunately, like a lot of things. We've had all kinds of problems this year. We got to order them early, but we've had light shipments that were fewer than we ordered. We've had shipments die, half the chicks die. We've seen not the best quality genetics sometimes. You can just tell in a batch when you raise enough of them that you're not getting the cream of the crop. And we get this, which has happened before. This is only half the batch. I think there's about 50 in this, and then there's another box that I guess will be in the mail tomorrow. I don't know why the Postal Service would split them up into 2 deliveries. Kind of goofy. You'd think they'd stay together during transit. Look at the little guys motor around. And furious. Don't peck the camera. This is broiler batch number 7 for us that just came, or at least half of it came. Probably the other half will come tomorrow. And it's 1 in, 1 out today. Got to get the chicken wagon and the tractor. This batch is 3 weeks old today, and they're going out to the field. This was a light batch. We only got less than 50 in here, and half of them died in transit. You know, when they ship, if they pack the chicken boxes right against the adjacent boxes, the chickens suffocate, and those are the most frequent kind of deaths we see that happen through the mail. So the hatcheries shipping replacements with the next order. Watch out, guys. Oh, watch out. In this heat, you guys are going to be much happier in the field. Although I don't show the poultry near as much as I do the cows and the pigs on the channel, poultry is our bread and butter, always has been. Chickens, turkeys, laying hens, good profit, sells quickly. But I guess I just figure it's not as sexy for YouTube. I don't know. We spend more time taking care of the chickens and the turkeys throughout the year than we do on any of our other livestock. There's just lots of work to be done with them. Hillary's got to drop the fence for me so I can go in. What is that racket? Oh, it's a spray rig. How'd that guy get behind the screen?
They're scooped through.
You gotta go that way. Wow, that water's hot. Holy cow. Watch out, guys. This is hot. You guys can't be hanging out here. You gotta move over. There you go. 3 weeks old, 5 weeks old, 7 weeks old. Well, take this tractor up and put it away in the barn. In with all of its brethren. Why couldn't the heaven... That's not the joke. Why couldn't the jalapeno practice archery? It's a mystery, right? Because he didn't have an arrow. Yeah. It's a good thing we're standing right in front of the manure spreader, because you can take the jokes and you can just... Did you get that, Titus? Oh, that was bad, wasn't it? We got poultry stashed all over the place around here. We got pullets pulleting in here, growing, getting ready to lay eggs this fall. Laying hens, they came running because they thought I had a treat for them. Doing their job, laying eggs. Hiding in the shade under the wagon on a hot day. Being that this is a Sunday video, I like to be a little bit more contemplative on Sundays. I think it's still left over from the days when I worked 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, and Sunday was the day when you get ready for the coming week. So I'm always a little bit thoughtful, more so than usual on Sundays, and I want to share some of that with you today to hopefully make your Sunday a little better with a story. As you know, this is the summer of our pole barn reconfiguration. We have the upper pole barn that we put an addition onto to house the cattle in the wintertime, and then we have the lower pole barn here that we're turning into equipment storage. Well, I'm held up on both of those projects. I'm held up from the upper barn project because the guy who puts in my fence posts, the big wood fence posts, who has a vibratory post pounder, it works slick as can be. It's on a mini excavator. Well, he's too busy to do that work right now, and so I'm waiting on him, and it's holding pretty much all the dominoes up that need to fall to finish that end of the project. Down here, I'm held up by the weather because I need to put gravel in on the floors before I start moving equipment in, and I can't do that. It's just been too wet to haul and place gravel. So Hilarie and I were talking this morning, and we were definitely in a glass half empty mode on this whole thing. It's holding up our whole summer, and it's frustrating. And it's holding up projects that I'd hoped to get done in addition to that this year. I'm hoping to build a new brooder house before winter comes. A real pole barn brooder house with a concrete floor and metal siding. It's rat proof with larger pens for the chicks. And it'll be shadier than what we have now, so it won't be subject to so much summer heat gain, which is a problem in our current brooder house. Anyway, it got me to thinking about how sometimes you need to do a little chiropractic on your attitude to go to the glass half full mode. And looking around us, and I'm going to put up some drone footage of our farm, what's not to be thankful for at this time of year? I mean, yes, we have a holdup, but everything works out in the end. And our attitude reminded me of more and more people that I run into who tend to see the glass half empty version of things. And maybe in your personal interactions with friends as well, there have been a number of people I know, more and more as time has gone on, that have become extremely negative about everything going on in the world. The kids, how society's going, politics, everything. It's all going the wrong way, and that's all they want to talk about. In fact, it's hard to have a conversation with them without getting into that territory. And try as I might, when I get into that territory with these folks, I try and steer them back to the positive side, but they just seem to want to dwell on all of this negative stuff. I don't think it's productive. I think part of our lives needs to be concerned with the things that we think are wrong in the world and working to try and right them. Not just complaining about them, but picking things that you can do something about and helping to make them right. Complaining doesn't really help much of anything. But the other side of us needs to always be focused on the positive as well. And I'm seeing that disappear from some people. And what really alarms me is a lot of the people I'm seeing it disappear from are older. They're in the latter part of their lives, and I think what a shame. You know, these folks have their legacy, their accomplishments to look back on. Instead, they're spending their later years unhappy. What do I do when I get into a conversation with somebody like that? Well, I try to focus on the good things and bring them back to it as much as I can without being too overt about it, that I don't want to hear this stuff, this constant negativity. I like to talk about their kids, their grandkids, things that are going on around us, within our town, things that we can actually have an impact on. And nature. I can always bring it back to nature. Growing up here, rural, living here, rural, nature plays such a big part of our lives, and there's so much beauty in nature that is yet untouched by all of the craziness going on in the world. I can still retreat to this farm and understand the way natural cycles work, and it gives me a lot of comfort that I wish more people had. But I think everybody can draw comfort from that. Not only farmers, nature's all around us, whether we live in the city, whether we live in the country, you can always retreat to it. And I think that's maybe the major solace, that and my family and my neighbors, when I can get them in the right frame of mind. I hope this video was informative. I hope my story was uplifting a little bit. It's just life these days. Have a great Sunday, and I'll see you next time.